Happy Friday, everybody. It's Insta Live on Fry, and it is Audrey Button, college specialist at Safe Harbors of the Finger Lakes. I use the pronoun she, her, hers. And I'm here today to talk to you about some grounding techniques for last Friday of March. So isn't that crazy? It's already almost April, which means it's going to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and it's actually also Child Abuse Awareness Month for the month of April as well. So keep a lookout on our social media for more information, because we'll have to release the schedule for our Instagram Lives for next month, so make sure you check that out. So with that, we'll be doing some just grounding techniques today and kind of just doing a couple that you can do to help relax if you're in a stressful situation or you're anxious of any sort. It's just a good way to help ground yourself and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So I always like to provide a content warning because some of the material I might be discussing may be sensitive to some, so please take care of yourself however you need to. And the video will be recorded and available after on our Instagram page and on our YouTube channel. So if you can't watch now, obviously that's okay, and you can check it out later. So, and just a disclaimer before we get started, the views and opinions expressed in this video are not necessarily those of Safe Harbors of the Finger Lakes, but of those in the video. And so with that, we will get into some grounding techniques. But first, before I show you a couple grounding techniques, I want to explain why they're important and what they do to your body in terms of like the more, scientific explanation for it is a good way to put it. So grounding or mindfulness, you might hear mindfulness techniques or exercises, aim to reduce the panic response. So when you're getting anxious, overwhelmed, stress, or the stress response of any sort, it's, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So when doing grounding or mindfulness activities, it activates that parasympathetic nervous system. That's a mouthful. So the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the body's rest and digestion part of the body. So when your parasympathetic nervous system is activated, it aims to decrease respiration, so breathing, and your heart rate. So hopefully bringing that down, because, whereas the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the response to stress. So that's like your fight, flight, freeze. So obviously that's increasing your heart rate and increasing your breathing to prepare the body to survive if it's stressed in that moment, responding to anything traumatic. So you don't want your body to constantly be in that state. And if it is, hopefully finding a way to help bring you back to, grounding you in that moment, bringing down, the heart rate and slowing the breathing. So a couple good ways to do that. I have the first one. It's called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, and it's using the 5 senses. So this one you might have to just find the best location. It could be outside, it could be inside in your room, wherever you're the most comfortable. So we'll start with 5 things you can see. And so just look for small details, such as a pattern on the ceiling. So if you're inside, just looking around in the room that you're in, maybe the way the light reflects off a surface, or an object you've never noticed before. Looking for those 5 things. Take your time recognizing what it looks like. Maybe look at the colors and the textures, and maybe just kind of just acknowledge it, because you might have not actually paid attention to the little details of certain objects before. So find 5 things that you can see in that moment. And then think of 4 things you can feel. So this could even just, noticing the sensation of clothes on your body that you're wearing, or maybe the sun on your skin, or just the feeling of a chair you're sitting on. Possibly you're sitting down on a chair or on the floor or whatever. How does that feel? Maybe even picking up an object, feeling the texture, feeling how heavy it is, just feeling the temperature of it. Maybe it's cooler or warmer, or just room temperature. It's possible. And then, so after you find 4 things you can feel, think of 3 things you can hear. So really paying attention to the noises around you, but maybe pay special attention to sounds that your mind has usually tuned out. So maybe like a ticking clock, a distant noise of traffic or trees blowing in the wind. For me, I always happen to randomly notice the air when it turns on, or when some machines are making noises, like the humming noise, just something like that. And then you're going to find 2 things you can smell. So try to notice smells in the air around you if you can, like an air freshener, a freshly mowed grass, like which hopefully we'll start smelling the freshly mowed grass soon since it's getting warmer out. And you can even just look around for something that has a scent. Maybe you can't necessarily smell it right where you are, but maybe you have a flower or a candle nearby and you can pick that up and smell it. And lastly, you need one thing that you can taste. So you might have to bring something with you, like gum or candy or a small snack or anything like that, a drink that you want to bring with you to taste. And so, pop whatever it is in your mouth or take a sip or whatever it is with you, and just focus your attention closely on the flavors in your mouth. And so hopefully using these 5 senses, it's really going to bring awareness to what's around you and how you recognize it with those 5 different senses. So this is a great way to really bring that focus and attention and bring you back to the here and now. And then the last one's just a simple breathing exercises. It's similar to the ones we've done a couple weeks ago. This one's great because it really requires you to focus on your counting, like we did with Bear Breath, if you remember. And so this one, you're just going to inhale for 3 counts. So you're just going, and then you're going to hold it for 3 counts. And then you're going to exhale for 3 counts. So you're doing a constant 3 counts for everything. And you're slowly going to work your way up to 8 sets of those breaths. And hopefully that also helps too. And so even if you want to do one of the breathing exercises we've done in the last couple of weeks, those are also always helpful. But the counting breaths are nice because it really requires you to focus on your breathing and how that looks. So that's it for today. I didn't want to do too many, but I think the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique and the breathing ones are always great. So hopefully you find this helpful. And so like I said, make sure you keep an eye on our Instagram live schedule for next month. We already have some things planned. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. And like always, if you need any help or support or have questions or would like more information, you can reach out to our 24-hour hotline, which is 800-247-7273. 73, I should say. Sorry. And you can always go to our website, which is www.shflny.org. And you can always, comment on our social media, or you can direct message us on social media if you need anything. So thank you all, and I hope you have, a great weekend, like I said, but enjoy the weather and all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week.